Makes it a little bit longer.
Where in the Folk is not and should not be viewed as a news source. Any names, places, or likenesses mentioned are purely fictional, and any information discussed is purely speculative. Guest opinions are their own and do not reflect those of anyone else. Where in the Folk is not responsible for content accuracy of any stories that are told or what people do with these stories. This show is vulgar, sometimes graphic, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone, actually.
Have all the bees gone? The bees are dying, and our survival hangs in the balance. In the past year, over 70% of U.S. bee colonies, more than 1.1 million hives, were lost, marking the worst collapse on record. Bees pollinate 75% of the world's food crops, making their survival critical to ours. At 4RBs, we're fighting back with our breakthrough PureWave cell, a quantum frequency device crafted with 48,000 Gauss rare earth magnets in the shape of the flower of life. Every purchase also supports our beekeeper program, providing free PureWave cells to small beekeepers worldwide, rebuilding life one hive at a time. Join the fight today and buy a jar of PureWave honey, or even one of the cells used by the beekeepers. Use code WITF for 20% off at 4rbs.com. And if you're listening on audio only, that's the number 4, letter R, bees.com.
Welcome to another episode of Where in the Folk. I hope everybody is doing amazing. And thank you for joining myself, Cecil, Tolly, and Morgana as we delve into the strange news of the week, year, whatever. Oh, Easy Mac. Hey,
Yeah.
Easy. We've been worried about you.
What's up, Landa?
Hey, Linda.
And
So, where do you guys want to get started today?
I want to get into the most depressing thing that I've read this week.
Okay.
Oh, what about the
This is not-
feel good? What about
this
the
is
feel
not-
good?
Friday feel good. I'm pulling a Tully. It's not going to be feeling too good. So I get trade email all week long. Some of it I just trash through, and then some of it I read. Well, I got this story from 2 different companies, and they matched up almost identically. And they're talking about this study they did with over 200,000 different anonymous and privacy scrubbed conversations between users and Bing Copilot. So much for anonymous, but
Oh, yeah. Well, that's relevant to the conversation today.
it is. It very much is. That's the reason I wanted to push that out there. But anyway, they were talking about the jobs that are most likely to be overtaken by AI, and then the ones least likely. So, and I just went with the top 10 because there were 40 in one of the lists. But anyway, so the top 10 that are probably going to be lost to AI: interpreters and translators, historians, passenger attendants, sales representatives of services, writers and authors, customer service reps, CNC tool programmers, telephone operators, ticket agents, and broadcast announcers and radio DJs.
What's up, Crystal?
Oh, fuck. That's me like in 4 spots. Hey, Crystal.
Yeah. Well, my main job's not on there, but hey, you never know. Now, the top 10 that are least likely to be overtaken are phlebotomists, nursing assistants, hazardous material removal workers,
Sweet.
helpers, painters and plasterers, embalmers, plant and system operators, oral and maxillofacial surgeons, auto glass installers and repairers, ship engineers, and tire repairers and changers.
Oh, sweet.
So for the most part, the more sucky and labor intensive and drudge your job is, the more apt you're not to be taken over by AI.
No, you say that, but some of those jobs sound pretty damn sweet to me.
Well, I will tell you, because some of them I feel like are more the knowledge and everything that goes with, like a phlebotomist. It takes somebody really damn good to hit a vein, especially when you've got my veins, because mine are deep, they're small, and they rotate and move. So anybody who hit What?
You mean you don't want a robot doing oral surgery?
No, exactly. Exactly.
What's
So, like I
wrong
said,
with you,
I feel like there are some like embalmers.
Landa?
You know,
Well, I mean, you say that it takes a lot of skill to be a phlebotomist, but I mean, my youth taught me how to be a phlebotomist pretty good.
okay.
I'm kind of like,
Sir, this is a Wendy's. This is a Wendy's.
I actually was certified to take blood at one point in my life. I was also a certified nursing assistant. I kept the license for a dozen years and never used it because after about 2 weekends in a nursing home, I realized it does take someone special to be in the medical field, and I didn't have the heart for it. I mean, when they cried, I felt like I needed to sit down and cry with them.
Well, take that back, Cecil. Maybe that was your calling.
Yeah.
Someone special.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's, like I said, but I would think something like hazardous material removal would be perfect for androids or robots because it takes out the, issue of someone getting hurt.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a little bit longer before they literally take every one of the jobs. Now, the ones that I feel like are going to be hit first are like the ones where you got to take calls.
They've got the voices down pretty good.
Yeah, they got voices down and they can talk back to you and stuff like that now.
Yep.
And then of course it's going to move to, like the factories and stuff like that. They're going to become autonomous or whatever to save money.
Yeah.
Well,
and there are insurance companies that have first line mental health appointments that are online with AI.
My therapist used AI to treat me.
That's great. Let me just ask ChatGPT real quick what it thinks is wrong with you.
Well, she didn't really use it to treat me. She used AI during our sessions to, I guess help diagnose me.
Well, here's okay, because I work in a print company. We do millions of pieces of direct mail every month because we're a casino printer, and people say print is dead. Just they're not in the right print industry because we're busier now than we've ever been. But the problem we run into is when you're dealing with casinos, you've got offers and you've got matrices and all these other things that have to blend together to make this offer that goes out to the customer. Well, if say one casino has 400 different segments, a person has to proof 400 separate pieces of mail, which can take 5 or 6 hours of a person doing that. So we've talked to multiple companies that do automated proofing and stuff, and we can't find one that can do what we need them to do to take this off of a person and make it, seamless. So the last one I talked to was an absolute jackass. I mean, he had all three of us so angry by the end of the conversation because he was not listening to us, And so I get back to my desk and I pulled up ChatGPT and I'm like, look, I work at a print company. This is what I do. This is what I need. The first thing it came back with, it says, it sounds to me like you're working in the gambling industry and that you're trying to get offers together. And I'm like, ChatGPT knows more about this than the damn guy that's trying to sell me a program that's not going to work.
I mean, I don't want to like get too far down the rabbit hole, but there's a lady on TikTok that has been going viral for the last week or so because she's using so I don't know whether this was delusion or what, but apparently she fell in love with her therapist and she had never met him in person, was doing like televisits or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when all of that fell apart, like she basically made a fool of herself on TikTok and people like pinned her to the wall with like how dumb it was. But since then, she has been using ChatGPT in place of a therapist. Like basically gave a prompt to be like, imagine you're a therapist and you're giving me not medical advice, but just whatever, like friend to friend advice.
It's like you're my service animal that can talk.
Well, yes. ChatGPT still isn't all the way there.
They just released 5 this week. You may have spoke too early.
I used it this morning. I want to show you this because I was making a Happy Friday message for my team. And I was using a picture of myself to make this picture. And I'm going to show it to everybody. It doesn't give away where I work or anything. So you see it. It's pretty cool, you know. But look at what it did to my face. Do you see?
It looks pretty normal.
You see?
Look at his forehead.
ChatGPT did this to me. There was nothing prompted to do that.
Yeah, I don't see anything out of the ordinary, dude, other than maybe the butterfly.
There was nothing prompted it to do that.
It knew you rose to the top.
Nothing prompted it. I didn't put any prompts to do anything.
Yeah, easy. So we, for both shows, we have the premium Twitter, and it absolutely is insane that you have to have like the super duper premium level to use their most advanced model.
Yes.
That is hilarious. I see Crystal. Did you see Crystal's comment?
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Ooh, look how good my wife is to me.
Oh. So I'll hit the feel good real quick.
Okay.
So tomorrow night, I know you guys saw the commercial at the beginning of the show. We're going to be talking to the founder and CEO of 4RBs. He is, so before he was into the bees specifically, think like Raf. So he worked on a lot of electrofrequency machines, and the cell that they've developed to help the bees was initially made for people, but because of all the red tape in the medical industry, and he didn't want to be killed, he defaulted to bees because it's a lot less regulated.
And
go ahead.
it's very, very important too. I mean, like the way that the world works is by these pollinators, and bees have always been one of the biggest pollinators, and they are declining at a rapid rate. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. Yep. It'll be a cool conversation, I think.
Absolutely.
But the main topic for today is all of the censorship and anonymity news that has been coming out this week. It started out with YouTube at the beginning of the week. So YouTube said that because of, and almost all of this stems out of the EU's goofy laws that they have, that they're like forcing social media companies to do. But I think in the grand scheme of things, they do want this, like for you not to be able to be anonymous on the internet at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they have implemented an AI-powered age verification system. It goes live on August 13th. And if this AI thinks that you're underage, so even if you're a 50-year-old man, if you watch the wrong streaming video of like somebody playing a video game, it could stop you and say, hey, before you get to watch the rest of your video, we need you to upload your driver's license or let us scan your face. And this has obviously sparked a lot of privacy concerns, because how many times over the last year has there been data leaks from companies, like big companies? But this system is already in use in the EU and UK because of the previously mentioned laws. But you can imagine people all over the internet are going crazy about that this week. And honestly, I don't blame them. Like, I don't know, like if YouTube gives me a prompt to do that, I'm not doing it. Like I'll just figure something out. Like I already had to go through all the red tape for the real ID.
Yeah.
And I, like, people were warning, even with that, it's like, you know, it's coming. Like it's like, what did it start with? The hub. So it started with the hub like 6 months ago, where you have to have age verification to watch adult videos. And I get that to an extent.
I get it.
But YouTube already has a YouTube Kids, where parents can set parental controls. And you know, it's supposed to, and that's a whole debacle in itself, because if you get in on the kids version of AI shorts right now, it'll be like fuzzy animals AI, but one of them's like strangling the other one to death, and there's a woman crying in the background.
Yeah.
So
my daughter will not let her 10 and 13-year-old watch YouTube, even YouTube Kids, because of some of the content.
It just, all of this that we're about to talk about, it just screams control.
Well, the thing that I don't know, like history kind of repeats itself, and this is definitely we need to track every person in this world, and what are they using it for, we don't know, but this is what's I feel like is going to happen. They're going to do this to the extent to where people are like, I'm not doing this bullshit, like you said, I'm not going to either. And we're going to have to go back to like going to a damn movie store. Like,
I mean, Goebbels would have had a field day with this technology. Yeah. I mean, that's what it seems like to me, is like, let me see your papers. You know what I mean? And I'm just not here for any of that.
But the thing too is they've already got it. Like, I use my face to open my phone. But even if you didn't do it, they still get your picture. Like,
oh yeah, and I'm not saying like it's really, at this point they've got all of our faces, they've got all of our data anywhere you drive. But here's the problem in my head is like, I pay for an ISP.
Yeah.
If I was paying YouTube for the internet, then I could see, okay, you need to make sure that I'm me because I'm using the credit card to pay you. I'm not paying you for a service. I am the product because I have to watch your stupid advertising. And to me, that's where the line is drawn here. It's not even like, oh, I'm protecting myself, like, because that's just like a boomer mentality at this point with all the surveillance going on. It's, for me, it's more like an ethical, philosophical, moral line where I'm just like, I'm not participating in this craziness. Like, it's just absolute foolishness.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I have thought more schools, more places, for me, and this starts with, you know, book banning and stuff like that. I will censor my children. I do not need you doing it.
No, exactly. And that's what YouTube's trying to do with this.
Right. Exactly. You know, and as a parent, I should know what my kids are doing and when they're doing it.
Yes.
And it's for me to stop that.
Well, and rest assured that if you get on YouTube's kids version, like I said, there are crazy things that their sensors aren't catching. So I don't think this has anything to do with the kids.
No, I think this is that registry they're trying to
get. Spotify's about to do trying to do the same thing. They're saying that they're not going to be using AI, but if it thinks you're accessing age restricted material, it could ask you for your government issued identification.
Why do they always start with porn? Like, everything that happens that they get ready to roll out on a mass scale starts in the adult and entertainment industry. If you if there's anybody out there that doesn't think that the adult entertainment industry is ran and effectively put out by the alphabet agencies, this is your key right here.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't even want to get into this right now, but we've been talking a lot about how embedded Mossad is into everything.
Yeah.
And there's a couple videos I'm going to play here in a few minutes that will kind of underscore this. But did you know that I think it's the founder and CEO of the Hub is a rabbi, like, and he was in the IDF and stuff. It's just like, that seems counterintuitive to me, but that, and a lot of people will say that has nothing to do with anything, but it's not just the Hub. It's also OnlyFriends. Same scenario. And what's weird to me isn't so much your religion, but the fact that you served in the military. Because if you think about our military, why aren't like United States military veterans in a lot of these positions that IDF veterans are in? it's always IDF veterans in these levels of censorship, and we'll show that here in a minute. It's just very disturbing to me. Once you get into how infiltrated a lot of this stuff is. But
what was it? Several years back, Meta with Facebook had a thing that you had to use your actual name. You could not use, an alias or anything like that. And I think that's complete and total bullshit because, I mean, my name's not Morgana, but, there's a reason I use that. Or when I first, started, podcasting and stuff, there was a very specific reason that I used that. Of course, that reason no longer exists, but that's beside the point. It's just the fact that I should be able to use a modified name as long as
whatever you want to.
Yeah, exactly. If I want to be Mickey Mouse, then that's up to me. I'll put on the big ears and the nose just to be an ass, but
yeah.
So,
well, and speaking of which, Meta already has a tool like this, as you mentioned. Instagram went viral again, though, because now they're charging, I think it's £7.99 in the EU.
Yeah.
To not have your data stored.
Yeah.
So basically they're extorting you. So you're the product and they're extorting you to not have your data sold to third parties.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool because it's like what 3 or 4 years ago, they're like, we're not keeping your data. We're not doing nothing with your data.
Yeah. Nobody's keeping your data.
Yeah. You know what I think the next move is, similar to what we were talking about last week. I think the next move is to just start charging people not to sell your data and just put that toward the national deficit.
And they're still going to do it. Like,
yeah, and they're still going to do it. That's a good point, Easy. They don't have to. If they'd get in trouble selling it, they just leak it.
Yes,
or let somebody hack it. But here's something crazy that we did not. I personally didn't hear about this until this week. But in Mexico, this happened in late July. They passed a law making, it's called the CURP, a previously optional 18-character personal identifier, a mandatory biometric national ID for all citizens, with full implementation expected by February 2026. It integrates biometric data, including fingerprints, iris scans, facial photographs, and a QR code encoding this information, aiming to enhance security, reduce fraud, and streamline access to public and private services like healthcare, banking, tax filings, and passport applications. The law, formalized through decree on July 17th, requires the Ministry of the Interior and Digital Transformation Agency to create a unified identity platform within 90 days, connecting CURP data to government databases such as the National Registry of Missing and Unlocated Persons. They say to help address missing people. But obviously there's some huge backlash to this, but I would encourage you. So again, where there's smoke, there's fire. If you start to look into Mexico's president's background, guess what you're going to find?
Massage?
Yeah.
I used to joke that I was going to get a tattoo of a QR code and just change the message up randomly to just something totally off the wall. But anymore, that scares me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I get why people are like super religious folks are paralleling this. Yes, exactly. Yes. Like you got to have it or you can't buy groceries. And, you know, when they start tying biometric data to QR codes for banking, it's like, well, I mean, how wrong are they here? Yes. You know?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, we packed the mark of the, like, I don't like to say the mark of the beast because I'm not extremely religious to that point. But I mean, the further we get in this life and the further we get with things like this, it's more like, are they just taking like ideals out of the book now? Like, you're like, let's just do that.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
But if you think about it, though, I mean, you can't buy anything right now without your debit card for the most part. How many of us pack cash? I pack cash, but it's for like tips. I don't buy
Well,
any.
I just have a stash, it just in that
Yeah.
off chance something crazy ever happens.
But if you're
But-
thinking about think about it in terms of a dam. So the dam is your digital ability to purchase.
Yeah.
And right now the dam structure itself is your debit card, but you still have the stream coming out the bottom, which is physical cash money. And you
Right.
can open that stream anytime you want to currently.
Mhm.
The minute that stream goes away and they completely dam that off to where everything's digital, that's when you get your bank account locked up when you say the wrong thing on the internet.
Yeah, but is there actually cash there? Because when's the last time you went to the bank? Is like, hey, I need to take out $10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 maybe. What I'm saying is like right now you go to an ATM and get cash.
Yeah.
If you needed to buy gas or emergency supplies, if they make it completely digital, they could say, okay, Cecil, we don't like that you called Easy a troll on the internet, so you're cut off for 2 weeks.
Well,
And
don't tell them that. I mean, I get what you're saying, and that's exactly where it's heading. And that's exactly from prophecy that was set up by like the Bible that was rewrote in like the medieval times. It's weird that they're going by this.
Mhm.
It really is. Like I used to watch religious movies because I thought they were funny. There's one with Stephen Baldwin where they talk about this exact thing, and like he was a higher up or whatever in the one world government, and he got cut off to where he could no longer buy food and stuff. And that's exactly what you're talking about. It's really insane. You're going to get a QR code tattooed on your ass cheek to buy something.
yeah,
Well, or the Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you've ever read the book or watched the movie, but when Gilead took over, they immediately shut down all women's bank accounts.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't affect me.
Well, it wouldn't, but it would affect
You're
over half the
stupid,
country. And that was the thing, this girl goes to, get money out, and she had to transfer everything into her husband's name.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And, yeah.
well,
I mean, these were supposed to be cautionary tales.
well, the next real one is Google. This is another July bulletin, but Google's Gemini AI, which is integrated into all Android devices, gained the ability to access and interact with apps like phone, messages, WhatsApp, and any utilities, even if users have disabled Gemini's app activity. And they're saying that this is about safety. Flash forward to U.S. courts. So, and this goes back to the hub. But when they made that decision in Texas to make it mandatory to have a government issued ID to access pornography, that opinion ruled that, and I'm going to quote this: adults have no First Amendment rights to access content without age verification, as the law primarily regulates minors' access to materials deemed obscene. They said it was only an incidental burden on adult speech, but the scrutiny here is that the standard could be used to strike down other cases, like for that same reason, like that you don't have a First Amendment right if they're citing safety as the reason for them to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Let's get rid of OSHA, because that kind of safety is different.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then this is from this week, August 2025. We mentioned this a few weeks ago, and they doubled down. Yeah, well, exactly, Crystal. I mean, I think that if they're already making these sort of decisions, nobody's going to have a leg to stand on if you try to sue over this kind of stuff. But this was this week. The current administration announced a policy through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, that linked approximately $1.9 billion in state disaster preparedness funds to a requirement that states and cities certify that they will not boycott Israeli companies. And this was according to FEMA grant notices issued on August 1st, 2025. Recipients of these funds, which support critical needs like search and rescue equipment, emergency manager salaries, and backup power, were required to comply with terms prohibiting the severance of commercial relations, specifically with Israeli companies. So that was a conspiracy that has come true in the last couple of weeks.
And here's the thing. It may be that you were working with an Israeli company that sucks, and that's why you're severing the connection, and then you're going to be held liable because you're being prejudiced against them because they're Israel.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's the whole point of like this financial structure we have. If somebody sucks, you can cut ties with them. That's the whole point of it.
Exactly. I have an app on my phone. I can go and check. Do they believe in this? Do they support this? Do they support this, this, and this? And if I don't want to spend my money with them, that's how I protest.
Yeah.
But
and that's
now you're telling me I have to back a company because of who they are.
Yeah, that's the way it should. That's the way everything should be. If you don't like a comedian, don't watch your shit. If you don't like a movie, don't watch it.
Yes.
If you don't like this show, don't watch it. If you don't like another podcast, don't watch it. It's
you either have like, and this is, I hate that they turned it into like a Monopoly game where they, because court came out of necessity, but court has turned into a game, like literally like a strategy game. And I hate that, like, because like speech is either free or it's not. There's no gray area there. It's either free or it's not.
Well, it's turned into a situation of I'm going to protect you whether you want it or not.
Yes.
Like, that's what it is. Like, that's what they're disguising it as for sure. But there's super darker alternative motives to it. Like,
and I don't even need to talk about the EU. We've already talked about people getting arrested for Facebook posts all over the EU. Grandma's going to jail for not liking somebody's political beliefs. It's absolutely bonkers over there, but there's plenty of stuff that they're still doing in the EU to make this even worse. They're making it to where they can access all of your private photos, all of your text messages, to where they can identify harmful stuff. So even if you're texting your best friend about a belief that you both share, if that goes against a norm, you could be arrested for it, or a law or whatever.
Well, we're FUCT.
I mean, my one and only mark on Facebook was for telling my husband, I'm going to choke you when I get home, over a comment he made being funny. And he tagged me in it. I mean, it was intentional, but it doesn't look at context. It doesn't look at relationship. It doesn't look at anything. It just, I'm going to physically harm this person. So here you go. I mean, and I firmly believe the First Amendment says that you can say whatever the hell you want and the government cannot punish you for it.
I don't know why. My intrusive thoughts are awful sometimes. When you said that, my first thought was I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to be like messaging, like posting to Mandy. I'm going to face with kindness. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'm sure that the AI would not take kindly to that.
Yes. Yes.
And I think the last one we got for this week's attack on censorship and anonymity is TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So they appointed Erica Mendel as the new public policy manager for hate speech. She is a former U.S. State Department contractor who worked under the special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism from 22 to 2025. She's tasked with shaping TikTok's hate speech policies, analyzing trends, etc. Before her State Department role, she served 2 years as an instructor in the Israeli Defense Force, armed corps within the spokesperson unit, and worked at the American Jewish Committee, where she described herself as a committed Zionist, and her responsibilities included or include monitoring content and acting as TikTok subject matter expert, according to her LinkedIn profile. And I've got I got a couple videos here we can watch.
Now, I
Quick.
will say, I really firmly believe that everything should be allowed on the internet, like it used to be Wild West. TikTok does have some crazy shit on there.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
TikTok is the last place.
Yeah.
TikTok is the last place.
Yeah. Either it's all, I don't know, man. Either it's all fair game or none of it is. Just go ahead and take care of it.
That's somebody, after the Super Bowl this last year, people had a meltdown over the halftime show. And, I'm like, okay, first, my parents hated my music. I hated their music when I was a teenager. All you have to do is change the channel.
Yes.
You do not have to sit there and watch it. Go make you a snack, come back 15 minutes later, and boom, it's over.
All right. So this is the first video. I think this is just related to TikTok and, the hiring of this lady.
I am giddy with excitement to announce to you that TikTok's new hate speech management is Erica Mindell, a former IDF soldier and proud Zionist. Guys, we can truly make amazing changes in the United States with TikTok thanks to this. We need more of this. And frankly, almost all of their staff in the United States actually is former IDF or Unit 8200. There's an extended interview floating around. You guys can find that readily available. There's so much hate being spread right now. And guys, I want nothing but to have that hate dissipate. So I know that TikTok is hiring only the best, and they've been hiring only the best. I actually do really enjoy TikTok, but I am exploring some of the amazing people they've picked up for their cybersecurity operations and their outreach coordinators and management. I know that each and every single one of these new hires will make TikTok a more harmonious community. They're hiring a lot from the Unit 8200, Israel's Signal Corps and
Sounds good, Easy.
Intelligence analysts. This is one of the client solutions managers at TikTok.
I'm gonna have to send you the other link, Cecil. I think my computer is tacked out at the moment.
Okay.
I'll just ping him in the private chat.
It sounds good.
On that one. Okay. I get it. Anti-Semitism is bullshit, but why are they not putting the same thing on anti-racism, anti-woman? I mean, there are so many things out there that fall under hate speech. If you're going to do one, why aren't you doing all of them?
I agree. It seems very pointed, and like I said, the only reason it throws red flags with me is like, what about our veterans that can't find work or that would specialize in something like that? Like, how is it? If you look at it's not like we've got any other. You don't see Nicaraguan veterans at the top of every company in the United States. I mean, if you did, somebody would be like, "What is going on?" You know what I mean? We don't have audio, Cecil.
You don't have audio? That sounds like a personal problem. Let's see.
It's like Sunday school. Okay, open up your TikTok and turn to channel 47.
I'll start it over again.
The internet just ended anonymous browsing forever. Reddit, Discord, X, and Blue Sky now require government ID to prove you're over 18 for certain content. Here's what's terrifying. These sites use third-party companies to store your ID photos, and they're already getting hacked. One identity verification service used by TikTok, Uber, and X left user information and driver's license photos exposed for months. 404 Media found the breach. There's no standardization. Every site uses different companies with different security standards. Some promise to delete your data in 7 days, others no guarantee at all. But it gets worse. The Supreme Court just ruled in 2025 that adults have no First Amendment right to avoid age verification. Your Reddit comments tied to your driver's license. Your Discord chats tied to your real name. Anonymous browsing is dead.
I sent 2 more. We can, which are also related. It just I think it's going to escalate from here.
I agree.
You're not sharing anymore, Cecil.
In the UK right now. Because if this gets worse, I will be leaving this country. You see, today I woke up to a notification that one of my videos had been restricted because it violates local law. And let me really emphasize this. TikTok themselves don't have a problem with this video. In fact, it can still be watched by everyone else outside of the UK. Bro, and when your local law is more strict than the infamously sensitive TikTok guidelines, you know that something is cooked. Now, it was removed under the UK's new Online Safety Act, which I'm sure you guys have heard of by now. It's supposed to protect children from harmful content online, but we're less than 2 weeks in, and it's already taking down literal news reports. The news and flow of information has to be a protected space in every country, and by taking down my videos so that under 18s don't see them, that means everyone in the country over the age of 18 don't see it either. And again, I'll reiterate, this video wasn't even sensitive enough for TikTok to have a problem with it. This has to be called out now and as early as possible, because it starts with one video on TikTok, but before you know it, people in this country will have to be using VPNs to keep up to date with the news. Just let that sink in. And I'm 100% serious when I said, if this gets worse, I'm out.
So, well, and that dude is probably the most famous news creator on TikTok. I think he's got more followers probably than all the mainstream news networks get put together.
You know,
like
that's
more viewers.
crazy, is that the EU already has a law in place that you cannot call something news unless it is factual, which I think is phenomenal. I think we should have that everywhere. But you know, if you're already having that in line, why are you pulling news content off of social media?
You want to watch this last one real quick?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your messaging. Private messages will be scanned. This is being introduced and supported under the guise of protecting children. Introduced by Denmark, France, Denmark, Belgium, Hungary, Sweden, Italy, and Spain back the measure, while Germany has yet to decide. The proposal could pass by mid-October of this year. Founder of Telegram, Pavel Durov, says that something like this would lead towards societal collapse, that Europe is already on its way there due to social and political reasons, and that preventing free speech, private communication between people, will be something towards the last straw. Europe, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and the United States are doing the most to combat political speech. Palantir, one of their founders, Alex Karp, says that, well, we're single-handedly responsible for stopping the rise of the far right in Europe. I love it when I'm getting yelled at in cities in Europe. Keep yelling at me. The only reason why someone's not goose-stepping is because of my product. It's really phenomenal that all of these nations are passing draconian speech laws and tech laws all at the same time. I feel like there's some subtext going on politically. What do you guys think?
I think that guy's hilarious because he always has the article behind him whenever he's acting like he doesn't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think we're going to all have to get, you know, house phones again and just have conversations on a phone.
Yeah.
I think we should end with a lighter topic.
Okay.
Well, we might run a little bit over.
You're fine.
It's not really a light topic. It's actually quite egregious.
Uh-oh.
So if you've not got enough to fear already from what we've covered tonight, in July of 2025, Khalees Karen Crowder, a 38-year-old registered sex offender from Glendale, California, was arrested again in Burbank. What was he arrested for? Allegedly sniffing a woman's buttocks at a Nordstrom rack in the Empire Center shopping center. This, I don't know what would drive somebody to do this. The incident occurred on July 22nd when police responded to reports of a suspicious man loitering in the women's department. After the suspect left Nordstrom rack, officers located him at a nearby Walmart. That's a surprising place for a butt sniffer to go. Where security footage showed him following a female customer, crouching behind her and engaging in lewd behavior by sniffing her buttocks. He was arrested, charged with loitering and intent to commit a crime, and bail was set at $100,000. That's all I want to cover on that. This world is nuts. If you haven't put that together with everything we just covered, butt sniffers should fill the void of any doubt you had. Totally. I mean, if this been 10 years ago, you've been sold up, bud.
Stop. Get out of here, dude.
I know you like going to the gym for some reason.
All right. On that note,
what's happening on Weird Awakens tonight?
We are talking about famous people watched by the ABC agencies.
Huh. Damn, that's a lot of them. So go to 4rbs.com. The number 4, the letter R, B's, BEES.com. Use the promo code WITF to get your 20% off of any product you purchase there. Tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern as we speak with the founder. Is that right?
Yep. Founder and CEO.
The founder and CEO.
I love that you just have no clue who we're ever talking to.
I like to be surprised.
get on the show live tomorrow and be like, what are we talking about again?
I like to be surprised. Keep it real. But thank you all for coming and watching us tonight. Tune in every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Give us a follow. Give us a follow,
like, and put a middle finger in the comments. And thank you for watching us, because we are watching you.
Peace.
Have all the bees gone? The bees are dying, and our survival hangs in the balance. In the past year, over 70% of U.S. bee colonies, more than 1.1 million hives, were lost, marking the worst collapse on record. Bees pollinate 75% of the world's food crops, making their survival critical to ours. At 4RBs, we're fighting back with our breakthrough PureWave cell, a quantum frequency device crafted with 48,000 Gauss rare earth magnets in the shape of the flower of life. When placed inside a beehive, it delivers remarkable results. Colonies grow 2 to 3 times larger, honey production soars, pesticide and antibiotic use drops to zero, colony collapse nearly vanishes, and queen replacements plummet. A 3-year study by Dr. Magda Havas, a global expert on environmental health, confirms these stunning outcomes. Our Pure Wave honey, a raw, creamed honey free of impurities like glyphosate, is energized twice, once in the hive, and again in our chrysalis energizer, for unparalleled vitality. Every purchase also supports our beekeeper program, providing free Pure Wave cells to small beekeepers worldwide. Rebuilding life one hive at a time. Join the fight today and buy a jar of Pure Wave honey, or even one of the cells used by the beekeepers. Use code WITF for 20% off at 4rbs.com. And if you're listening on audio only, that's the number 4, letter R, bees.com.